Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Now, if you follow me here on the channel or on Mopar Insiders, you probably know that I love to dig into the United States Patent and Trademark Office website and find a whole bunch of different patents as well as trademarks that Stellantis is working on for future product. But this past week I actually found something very interesting and I figured, hey, we'll talk about it on the channel. Now, if you've been following me on Mopar Insiders again or here, we've been talking a lot about the 2026 Grand Wagoneer. Now, the Grand Wagoneer is going through its first, basically what they call a mid-cycle action, or MCA, or you might know it as a refresh. But for 2026, Jeep is doing something totally different than what we've seen in the last couple of years. Basically, what Jeep did when they launched the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer was they made them a sub-brand of the Jeep portfolio. Unfortunately, it just kind of confused everybody. People didn't understand the whole thing. It seemed to be kind of a waste. So Antonio Filosa and Bob Bordendorf basically confirmed that for 2026, the Grand Wagoneer and Wagoneer will be badged as Jeeps. And we recently seen that with a very short video that Jeep came out with, as well as a teaser image that showed the new Grand Wagoneer with Jeep badging on the hood. Now, again, this is big because it's moving the brand. It's kind of shuffling the brand into one mainstream category. So yes, you can have premium Jeeps, you can have off-roading Jeeps, and you can have mainstream Jeeps all into one portfolio. It makes a lot of sense for marketing and other things as well, but this is a key move by Jeep. Now, on top of that, what we've been hearing from our sources for quite a while was not only was that going to happen, but if you look at the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer lineups for the past several years, they've had weird names compared to the rest of the lineup. So basically, instead of having like traditional nameplates, they had Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3 vehicles, on top of dark edition ones like the Obsidian and Carbide. However, for 2026, our sources have been indicated for several months now that they will have basically a limited, an Overland, and a Summit model of these Grand Wagoneer and Wagoneers for 2026. But when I was digging through the USPTO website, I came across a trademark for the Grand Wagoneer Summit. And this was issued on August 5th, 2025. So you can see it right here. If we go over to the USPTO website, here it is all decked out and you can actually dig through all the documents and stuff, but it's pending right now. So with it pending doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily use it. We've seen that recently with the Outlaw name and the basically it said the Outlaw and Charger Outlaw. And then when we thought those were going to be the six-pack cars, they basically showed up and they had Scat Pack and RT names on them. So again, it doesn't mean that it's going to be used, but it kind of does hint at what we've been hearing from our sources. Now, if we go back here, you can also see that the teaser image we got recently of the new Grand Wagoneer shows that the Wagoneer is going to actually adopt a lot of the styling from the new Wagoneer S. So again, that's a huge move. It's going to be very bold in your face. And what's very interesting about this teaser image is it kind of looks like it's very photoshopped, but if you look at it, Jeep didn't say anything when they released this other than Bob Bordendorf told us in the media that, hey, the new Grand Wagoneer is going to have a new attitude. But if you look at the actual picture, people were quick to notice that, hey, there's a charge port door on the front fender of this vehicle, as well as the wheels have 8 lugs. And that follows suit of the Ram 1500 Ram Charger. Now, if you're not familiar with the Ram 1500 Ram Charger, we've also talked about that a lot on the channel as well. So the Ram Charger basically is a range-extending electric vehicle, or a REEV. And what that means is instead of being a full battery electric vehicle, the vehicle's still powered by electric motors. However, in having a smaller battery pack, it can incorporate a fuel tank as well, which means there's a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 under the hood. And instead of that powering the wheels, it actually powers an inverter to power the battery. So again, you can plug it in from your house or a charging station and go so far. But when that battery gets low, and you don't have anywhere to go to charge it, or if you're on the go and you just don't want to stop, you can fill this thing full of gas and the Pentastar V6 will actually charge the battery back up for you while you drive. So kind of a cool idea. It's very popular over in Asia as well as Europe, and now we're seeing it to start to come here, especially with Stellantis products like the Grand Wagoneer and the Ram 1500. And even International's getting into it. When they launch their new Scout truck and SUV, they will also have a Harvester range extending electric vehicle. So it's not just Stellantis, but Stellantis should beat everybody to the punch. Now, with that Summit nameplate, does it mean that it will go to this vehicle? We don't know. More than likely, probably not. We've been hearing that the 4xe name will be carried onto the Grand Wagoneer as well as the Wagoneer with these different, electric powertrains. We do know that they were supposed to have an all-electric model, but we don't know if they're going to go forward with those plans just yet. But we know for sure that the range extender will come very, very soon. And again, the very interesting part about all this is just one of 4 products that Jeep is basically launching by the end of the year. So Jeep has the new Cherokee, which we've been talking a lot about here on the channel. That's going to launch very, very soon, probably within the next month. They're going to have the launch of the new Grand Wagoneer. They're also going to have the launch of the updated Grand Cherokee. And then on top of that, later this year, we'll have the launch of the Recon finally. So we'll be talking about the Recon in a different video later this week. But yes, 4 vehicles will be launched by the end of 2025. So again, this is going to be a big year for Jeep. Bob Bordendorf has said where this new vehicle will have a lot more tech, a lot more value in it. And he basically said that, it's going to have a whole different attitude. And it kind of goes hand in hand because we've seen, the Wagoneer for 2025 actually introduced 2 special edition packages. But the funny thing is, if you go back to some spy images I posted a few weeks ago, if you look at the new 2025 Wagoneer Super, that vehicle that we've seen in the spy images looks almost like the Super model carries over for 2026. It has the same wheels and whatnot. Could be just kind of a mule, but we don't know. And on top of that, they already used a limited name for the other special edition model. So maybe they're kind of hinting at, what's going to happen right now with the 2025 models and then what's going to eventually change over for 2026. So anyways, stay tuned. We're going to be digging more into this as Jeep, basically releases more information. So make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to follow Mopar Insiders, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with the latest Mopar stuff here on the channel. So make sure to have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.